Yeah, this your homegirl Ray doing another video real quick. 914 Westchester County, New York. We always on top, never gonna be on the bottom. We are in the motherfucking house. New York is in the motherfucking house. And I was on YouTube earlier and I was looking at Life Talk with Rainey. Life Talk with Rainey, and she was talking about Master P and mental illness, and how it needs to be addressed. It's a big problem in the black community. Yes, it is a big problem in the black community. Myself, I was diagnosed with major depression, recurrent, borderline personality disorder, anxiety, and PTSD. That's my diagnosis. And I have been in and out of therapy since I was 17 years old. I am close to 50 now. The first time I ever went to a psychiatric hospital was when I was 17 years old. I went there for self-mutilation. I went to a hospital in Columbia, South Carolina. It was on Bull Street. It was called William S. Hall Psychiatric Hospital. Right there on Bull Street. I was there for a whole month. Okay. I remember going, and I remember living on the teenage unit with the teenage psychiatric patients. And they separated the teenagers. Okay, you had a teenage unit, you had an adult unit, and then you had the children unit. And I met children that was between the ages of 8 and 10 in the psychiatric hospital. And one of the children that was there, I forget his name, beautiful young boy, 10 years old, he tried to kill himself by hanging himself in a tree. His uncle found him and shot him out of the tree. Okay. When this boy was released from the hospital, he went back into his mother's care, living in that house with all these other different children. The mother didn't have certain things. I heard right after he got out of the hospital, he killed himself. He was successful. He hanged himself in a tree. See, mental illness doesn't just hit adults, it hits children too. So it does need to be talked about. It does need to be addressed. And it's a horrible thing when you look around yourself and you see that most of your friends are dead. Most of them. So if I keep on living to be 60, 70, 80 years old, most of my friends will probably be dead. But life brings different curveballs, and you just got to learn how to deal with it. Sometimes you suffer in silence. That's the best way to do it. That's the best way to do it, because when you go to a psychiatric hospital now, they might hold you for like 72 hours and then they release you. I remember those days I used to cut open my arms and go to the emergency room and have them stitch the arm back up. and they would release me the next day. So it's not being addressed, especially in the Black neighborhood, especially in the Black community. It's not being addressed. It's not being pinpointed as one of the problems that we suffer from. And a lot of times when you are seeing a therapist, people say, "Oh, there's something wrong with you. You should not be seeing a doctor. You shouldn't talk to a stranger about your problems." It's the same thing as being on YouTube. It's the same thing. Any social media outlet you go to, you might be talking about your own personal issues. It happens. Peace out. New York love.